Hey guys, so now I'm gonna read chapter 4 to you guys. Ready? Chapter 4 My so dull life. Please feel free to skip ahead. Nothing to see here. This has to be some kind of mistake. No one would ever want to kill me. I wasn't that interesting. I wasn't good, I wasn't bad, I wasn't tall. I wasn't short. I was that blurry face in the crowd shots. Have a great summer was written 100 times in my yearbook. And that is exactly what I wanted. Here's what I didn't want. To be different, special, weird, odd, or in any way abnormal. Wish granted. My parents made a lot of money when my dad invented the super big plastic lids for Starbucks. Hey, somebody had to invent them. After that, they had so much cash that they didn't need to work anymore. But Dad loved work, so he and Mom started a consulting company for other people who wanted to invent stuff. Are you totally bored yet? I am. And guess what? That business made a ton of money. They were just money magnets. Dad used to joke that he was the brains, but Mom was the magic. The clients all liked her best, and so did I. Mom was truly magical. She always seemed to know what I was thinking before I thought it, and she knew what was going to happen to me. She scooped me away from dangers with lightning speed. When she came to my preschool to volunteer, I showed her off to everyone like she was a movie star. She was pretty. She was kind. She smiled by default. On my first day of kindergarten, she took a set of Hello Kitty bandages, gave each kitty a little kiss, and then stashed them in my backpack. In case you get hurt today, these already have my kisses to make you feel better, she explained. Sure enough, at recess, I skinned my knees bloody. Through my tears, I insisted that the nurse use the Hello Kitty bandages, the ones with Mom's kisses on them. How did Mom know that I'd need them? She was magical. Me? I was a little kid. I ran around Washington Square Park. I played piano, blah blah blah. Okay, here's one exciting thing. When I was 6 years old, I woke up from a dream where I saw a lady in a green coat waiting for a subway, but she was wobbling and started to lose her balance. She was in danger and just about to fall onto the tracks when I woke up. And then that day, I saw a lady in a green coat waiting right near Mom and me on the subway platform at West 4th Street. She's going to fall, I said to Mom. She looked kind of confused, so I said it again really loud. She's going to fall. Lots of people heard me. Sure enough, the lady started wobbling like I knew she would, and two guys and a teenage girl grabbed her as she started to lurch forward. They caught her. It turns out she was pregnant with a really big belly. But instead of thanking the people who saved her, she yelled at them for being too rough. Go figure. That night at bedtime, Mom hugged me extra tight. You knew. When the lady almost fell, you knew. Sometimes I know things too. You do? Is that part of your magic? I asked. I don't know if it's magic, she laughed. And it certainly doesn't happen all the time. But it does happen. I call it the knowing. Have you known things before, sweetheart? I sat up in bed, ready to release my one tiny secret to my favorite person in the world. Yes, I knew when Sam was going to fall off the monkey bars, but I was too scared of him to say anything, and he fell, I confess. And he's okay now, Mama, sure? I knew when that big client of ours was going to tell some very bad news. The knowing is a gift, and you got it from me. It was nighttime, but hearing her say that made me feel like I was bathed in sunshine. I got this knowing thing from her. We were connected, and we always would be. Do we get to know everything in the whole world? I asked. Not sure if that would be good or bad. Sorry, no. For me, it's something that comes and goes. It was stronger when I was a kid, she spoke, as if she were just figuring that out now. I wonder what changed. We knew things. Sometimes we had that knowing, Mom and I. I didn't understand it completely. I still don't. But that night, I thought it was great. Of course, it wasn't always great. In fact, sometimes it was terrible. I knew when my favorite teacher, who was pregnant, was about to lose a baby, and I couldn't stop crying because I knew that it had already begun and she wouldn't be able to stop it. Sometimes the knowing gave me a really bad stomachache, so Mom would cradle me in her arms and sing very quietly so that only I could hear. She loved the Beatles and made sure I heard every album while I was a baby. That night she sang Blackbird. And then it happened. It was Tuesday morning in summer. I was 7 years old, and I woke up knowing something very bad was about to happen to Mom. I could hear glass shattering, metal screeching. I ran out of my room, leapt downstairs, and found Dad sipping coffee. Where's Mom? I asked. She's meeting with our new client. Apparently they liked her better than me. He half laughed, but then changed in a blink. I proceeded to throw the biggest tantrum of my life, and was never really a tantrum thrower. I don't understand, sweetie. What's wrong? Get her back. Now. Right now, I screamed. I pounded his chest. Call her. Get her home now. He reached for the phone, maybe just to calm me down, but it was too late. Mom was in a taxi that was stopped at a red light. The light turned green and the taxi started to go, but some asshole in a Hummer was running his red light and slammed right into the taxi, right into the passenger seat, right into my mom. She was broken beyond repair. She lingered for a few days. Dad took her off life support. She lasted for one more day, and then she left. I stopped talking. I cried. I made sounds but no words. That night, I dreamed about her so intensely, so vividly, I swore she was in my room with me. She felt real and solid as she tried to console inconsolable me. I'll always be with you, she promised, one way or another. But I bet you won't be here when I wake up, I thought. But I still wasn't speaking. I dreamed about her the next night and the next and the next. She was my secret, private dream mom, cradling me in her arms and singing to me. I looked forward to sleep every night, just so that I could hear her sing Blackbird one more time. I had her all to myself, so I let myself speak at long last. Will you come back every night and visit me, I asked, or fully expecting her to promise that she would. No, sweetheart. She kissed my forehead and smoothed my hair. I have to stop this. I have to move on. I went silent one more, locking my arms around her as if I could keep her there forever. And then I woke up. Everyone we ever knew was at her funeral. Everyone loved my mom. I stood in a corner, mute and miserable. I clutched the folded piece of paper against my heart. Eventually, Dad stooped down and spoke softly. Sarah, what have you got there? Is there something you want to say or maybe sing for your mom? Could you do it if you want? You could do that if you want. He had been spying on me. The paper held a song that I had written for her. I couldn't write my own music, but I rewrote the words to a Beatles song. Mom had loved them, and now their music sort of belonged to her. The whole room went silent except for a few quiet sobs. I walked over to the coffin, where a plastic-looking version of my mom was laid out in a pale pink dress. I placed the poem next to her hands, turned and broke my silence with him. This is your fault. You should have taken better care of her. She shouldn't have been in that taxi, and now I'm stuck with you. I watched my words pierce him and slice him in two, and I still hate myself for doing that. He cried and hugged me and said, "You're right." That night, she didn't appear in my dreams. She never came back again. The mom part of my life was over. We were disconnected. Losing her the second time was even more painful than losing her once. And I got to have that second round of pain because of the knowing. And just like that, I hated it. I hated the knowing. If it couldn't save Mom, what good was it? All it ever gave me was a stomachache and a broken heart. Was it going to torture me again and again until my own unexpected death came along? No. It needed to end. It needed to end along with my mother's life. If it started to rise up, I shook it off, thought of a song, thought of something else, anything else. I was like a left-handed kid learning to write with the right hand. It was hard, but I hung in there and sent it far, far away. Okay, so fast forward a bunch of years. Why, there's Sarah doing schoolwork, being polite, watching from sidelines and being blurry. Does she have any close friends, a boyfriend? Does she ever play her music in front of anyone? Don't waste your life on such stupid questions. She doesn't magically know things save lives. Have fun or sing Beatles songs in her dreams with her mom. If she thinks she starts to know something, she pushes it out of her brain and throws it as far as she can. And you know what? That works. That feeling inside her goes quiet. She becomes someone else. It isn't easy, but she does it. Done. All that time, Dad was working. Enter Karen. Dad met her at work conference last year. She was a bit of a Midwestern dork with a questionable fashion sense, but very nice, warm, and a fantastic cook. Her family had made a pile of money in health supplements. She was kind of sort of melting the polite frost. That was our father-daughter relationship. Global warming. Karen even invited me to be her bridesmaid after Dad proposed, and I was sort of honored, not to mention happy about the way life was getting better for us. Okay, so fast forward to the last day of my life. If only I had known it would be the last one. Dad wore a penguin-friendly tuxedo. Karen wore a traditional wedding gown, which was bright white with pearls, lace, sparkles, and puffs. It looked like the dress that would be chosen by a child who eats too much sugar. At the reception, everyone talked about new beginnings, and I felt an amazing flame of hope light up in my solar plexus. Maybe this was that knowing thing, but in a good way. I even contemplated singing at the reception, thanks to an illicit glass of champagne that I'd swayed from the days. But I restrained myself. I danced. Me dancing? Wow, who knew? Everyone was having fun. I thought about Mom, and it felt like she was maybe nearby, and she was happy for us all. I think so. I was happy too. And then this happened. Someone was watching me. I could feel it like heat on my skin. I turned to look in the direction of the heat, but all I saw was some guy in black and white disappearing into the kitchen, probably some waiter. So what? I just wanted to dance. Oh, but I couldn't. A heavy shadow fell over the day. I started to feel this pain, a sharp knife stick to my stomach kind of pain, and I didn't want to ruin everyone's good time, so I slipped into the reception and upstairs to my hotel room. I got a whole lot sicker. It was torture, and I was a prisoner in my own body. So you'll understand that I felt almost relieved when an oppressive sleep began pushing me down like I was at the bottom of the ocean. I fell asleep on the bathroom floor, and I woke up dead at the mall. So that was chapter 4. Please like, comment, subscribe to this video, hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.